What do you think of the score?
I think it was a beautiful goal by Austin Arnold. Lindbergh.
Welcome to CLTFC Fan TV for the fans by the fans. Damn it.
Damn it.
I'm JT. Hey, I got it right this time. That's Lee. And tonight, I can rhyme it. We have our dear friend Matt Chantry from Mint. Oh shit, it's a quadruple rhyme from Mint City. And all that good stuff.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing, Matt?
I'm coming live from Oak Island. Got a little March Madness going on. Set this up in the room. But damn it. I mean, our little catchphrase, Lee, is, the damn it at the end. But, I mean, if not now, when? So welcome to the show. Subscribe if you can. And if you have not, and please like, comment. Let's have some fun. What's up?
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even feeling wanting to talk about this dribble that we that we have, man. I'm trying to be positive. I got told last night on Jorge's show I'm not positive. I mean, what's there to be positive about, Matt?
Not much. I'm in agreement with you. I'm usually a pretty patient and positive fan. Most of the other teams I follow are fairly mediocre, as you will attest to, Lee. So
Yes.
I'm used to having issues and troubles a lot of the time. But yeah, I'm struggling right now after last week. It was rough.
Yeah, for sure. And before we get going, Adam from Defend the Queen has been generous again to give us another giveaway. I forgot the graphic to get it ready for the show. However, because nothing is ever rigged on our show, it is # not rigged to enter. So
Not rigged.
No, not rigged, damn it. And
We wanted to see
nobody drinks sweet tea. Matt, do you
It's
drink
not.
sweet tea?
Yeah, we're not talking about sweet tea, by the way. When I say tea gang here, this is English tea. I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Breakfast
A nice
tea. not
cuppa,
sweet
mate.
tea.
Let's have a nice cuppa, mate.
with or without milk, Matt.
Oh, with milk.
Yes, of course.
You've got to have a good some good cow piss in there to make it work.
That's it. 1 or 2 sugars.
Hold on, now
One sugar.
Yeah. Do you do the tea leaves with the old my
No, I just do the
man used
bag.
to knit the thing over
just
the
the bag.
tea with the leaves and all that, man. Yeah,
this
so
show's being taken
don't
over.
get-
Being taken.
hold on
over
a second,
here.
JT. Me and Matt we're bonding here for a second over some tea. So Matt, do you
Hey,
do
Lee,
you
look down. Look down while you say it. Like
Matt.
you're looking right at him.
yeah. Matt, do you
Other way.
put the water in, then dunk the tea, then add the milk, or how do you do it?
Oh, we've had some debates about this internally within Min City, but so I do boil the water,
Yeah.
and then pour the hot water over the tea bag.
Yeah.
Then let it let the tea bag sit in it for about
Yeah.
a minute, usually,
That's
depending on how
good.
strong you like it. Push out the tea as you the tea bag as you bring it out.
Yeah, with
Kind of
the
get the
spoon,
strong
man.
stuff
You
out
gotta
at the
get-
end.
yeah,
Exactly.
Make sure there's no
Then you
water
put-
drips.
Exactly. Then you put the milk in. Where Americans always go wrong, I always complain about, is they never use boiling water. Like
Yeah.
they'll bring like water to the table to do it, and it's like 70 degrees by the time it gets to you.
Yeah,
Like that's the most common way of ruining it, I would see.
That's why they drink iced tea, because they don't know how to make a good cup.
Exactly.
Mate. Yeah. Cheers. All right.
That's why we drink coffee, bitches.
Is this about football or tea? We're being asked. It's all
I
about
know,
tea, man. It's always about
Do
tea.
you want to talk about the football?
Yeah, I mean, right. The tea making is probably a lot more interested than the football, right? So yeah, not
the
much
hell is
football.
going
Tea
on?
is more excited. Yes. What's that?
Let me besides our show tonight. Thank you so much for coming on, Matt. What is that? I mean, I was listening to the fan reaction videos again, and it's like, what the is going on? It's like an experiment on the field. I don't know where to start.
Yeah. So I prepared actually for the show today. I don't usually prepare for things, but I prepared today my list of words to describe the match, list of phrases to describe that match.
I'll let you go.
Debacle, fiasco, hot mess, dumpster fire, shit show, clusterfuck, unholy cacophony of chaos, epic fail, goat's rodeo, or my personal English favorite, a dog's breakfast.
Dog's breakfast, brilliant. I mean, I don't think anybody could argue with any of that.
Hey, right before what did you say right before dog goats? What?
A goat rodeo.
A goat.
I mean, we could keep going. We talk about fossil
Oh, yeah,
football,
that was
Miami
goat
Tennis
rodeo.
FC. You know,
Matt, I'm going to use that. This is some
Yeah.
goat rodeo shit right here.
so here, Austin brings up a good point. Let's try to be a little serious for just a minute, right? You know, why is Latanzio playing the sort of football he's playing? Why is he putting Bronico at left back? Why is he putting Carroll out on right wing? I mean, we had a whole preseason of a formation, and then as soon as after the first game, he just blew it up, ripped it up, and said it's not working.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's honestly kind of like he's panicked, and is trying to throw some mud against the wall and see what sticks.
Yep.
That's what's concerning me at the moment. Honestly, I've seen managers play players out of position before in in other teams, and it's usually a sign that when they're doing it to this degree, that they've kind of lost control a little bit, and they just don't know what they're doing, and they're just kind of desperate. Desperate's the word I've used a lot this week. I'm baffled by the decision making in the lineup, in the tactics. It's clearly overcomplicating it to the point where the players don't know where they need to be, not just defensively but offensively as well. Players are out of position all over the field.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, right? I mean, it's always easier to come on these shows after we've got a win and we can just be happy and go lucky. But I mean, we were 3-0 down at halftime, right? Why not make some subs then? Bring Nunes on, bring Vargas on, right? Why make this? I mean, what have we got to lose? I mean, we're 3 points down already.
Do y'all think that? Because to me, it seems like Capetti has been some sort of negative catalyst for this whole thing. It's like somehow $6 million man drops in, and Lattanzio was pretty critical, saying he doesn't need to argue as much, whatever. It seems like Capetti, very talented player, want to see him do great. Obviously, the team do great, but it seems like him and then moving Swiderski back to roam around, whatever. And granted, that goal was so sweet, the only goal we've scored all season, but nonetheless, it's like Capetti is somehow a catalyst for everything being shifted around. And when you see Bronico on the left back, it's like that's the last of it's like shift here, then that moves that. It's like what the fuck is going on?
So there was a press conference today with Adina Malad.
Try it one more time, Lee.
Yes,
one more time.
Malanda, right? And this was translated from French, I do believe, but he says, we are players and we may have preferences, but the coach ultimately decides. The players may need more time to get used to the system because right now it seems each player has their conception and idea of it. I don't know what that means, right? But that was translated basically, I don't know. To me, it seemed like reading between the lines is like the players are kind of like, we don't know what's going on either. We just playing where we're being told to play.
And they're playing like that as well.
What's that?
They're playing like that. They're playing like they don't know where they should be.
Yeah.
They're confused.
What about leadership in the locker room too? You know.
Well, I mean, we could get into that too, right? I mean, but
on and now Carujo, he's been out, but still just in the back. Who's stepping up? And
I mean, they also
Westwood in theory.
Yeah, I mean Westwood. That goes back to the T gang thing. But I mean, to me, regardless, like Westwood's the captain, right, or has been the captain most of the season. I'm sure he's got his way of the way he talks to the players and his teammates and that sort of thing. But I mean, like Alex says, right? Atlanta made the first sub. We're 3-0 down, right? Coming starting the second half. It's not working, Lattanzio. Show us something. Make a sub. We need some creativity up top. And
can someone send Lattanzio some like Jersey Mike subs and some like little tiny model submarines in the mail just to kind of give him the hint or something? Because to be honest, he's always been bad with subs, but I think it's being exacerbated now by the poor showings that you need to make substitutions in those situations, and he's not. So although it's always happened when you've been winning, you don't really complain about it too much. When you're losing and you're not making subs and losing to the degree that we are, it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is fair, right? At the same time, competitive tensions definitely don't help us, right? I mean, that's fair. I mean, but to me, that seems to be
Lee. Because last year, Swiderski was always our hothead. And now you got Capetti and Swiderski at the top. It's like a synergy thing of hot-hittedness.
But honestly, I don't know, man. I mean, all we do is we try to play the wings, we cross it in, the ball either hits some guy in the gut or it's way over where even if you were 12 foot tall, you couldn't make the sub. I mean, you couldn't make the header. I mean, we had one good header from Capetti against St. Louis, and we went 1-0 up, and then obviously we lost 3-1. I'm wondering if Lattanzio is not thinking, well, it worked. We didn't really get stumped by St. Louis. Those were just individual mistakes. And therefore, this is going to keep on. This might work against, Atlanta, which obviously it didn't. I mean, Atlanta, they The second half, I don't feel like they really outplayed us, but the first half, man, I mean, that first goal, there was nobody there, like nobody tracking. I mean, we've got I don't even know what to say. Go ahead, man.
Well, I don't want to say excuse too, but it was so weird too. Early season, cold ass morning, and we're playing our rivals because I guess they got some national deal on TV or whatever the MLS wants to do. So Atlanta, early in the season at noon in March, early March. Man, it was screwed up. I mean, whatever. Play the games you're going to play on the pitch, but it just the whole atmosphere wasn't what it should have been.
I mean, the question is, do we think we like a true 10 is setting us back? I mean, I think Nunes could simply fit into that spot. I mean, I don't know what he needs to do to get a start. I mean, I think last season we had him around when we played Cincinnati away. I mean, he wasn't with the squad as much as the rest of the players, but I feel like he's been there long enough to get a start. I mean, you see him and when Vargas come on, there's a spark in the team. The team picks up. The tails are up and they're playing. I don't know what else they need to do to get a start, Matt.
Yeah, I like at the moment Shinyashiki is obviously taking Santos' spot in theory.
Yeah.
And I like Andre. It's however, and a lot of other people have said this. I definitely see him as a super sub. He's got a good
Andre,
energy when you bring him off the bench.
Sure.
And can kind of what's the phrase? Puts the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit when he comes off the bench.
Yep.
But I don't rate him as a starter right now. He doesn't seem to work. He doesn't work. Nuno Santos is arguably our most technical player, at least top 3 most technical player on the team. And there's comments that have come out about like practicing maybe and what teams are doing in training. Players are doing in training, and maybe he isn't training particularly well. Maybe he isn't training as hard as other people are. I don't know. I can't see behind the scenes, but at a certain point, you've got to say what's on the pitch isn't working. We need to try something new. And thus far, Lattanzio hasn't seemed willing to say that to himself.
Right, and I mean, even in the and to this comment, right? I mean, Bronico is a workhorse, but not a left back. We need a proper left back. I said in a lot of times in the fan interviews, we need 11 Bronicos. I didn't mean so much the way he played this weekend. It was more of his mindset. I mean, you can see the guy grinds it out week in and week out. I don't know, right? I mean, I'm with you, man. I would bench Andre. That's going to piss off a lot of people on Facebook, right? Because that's a tough
anything we do.
Y'all were just talking about, we need to possibly, or when Shinyashiki would come in later and later in the games, he was that spark plug. So we're like, hey, we need to get him earlier. It's like deja vu. So we get him in as a starter, and now he's getting burnt out too quickly. It just doesn't work. So he's like a super sub, as you said. I love that phrase, Matt. But the other players that we're bringing in late, if we're saying now that Nunes has to come in earlier, whatever, and be a starter, it's just funny to see if he will also have the same fate that Shinyashiki did, which was they are best coming in maybe as 3 of them together in the second half with that second punch, but early. Have we ever subbed anyone? We've never subbed anyone at the half ever. It always seems like it's been 70 minutes or on almost all the time.
Yeah. One of the I say funniest in like a sad way, I guess, points of the game this weekend was I think was it like 60 minutes ish. Lee, you were close to me to where I was saying you could attest to this. The section to the left, so I guess it's section 122. Everyone started doing the whole substitute hand motion. The whole section were doing it towards the bench. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No,
it was hilarious and embarrassing all at the same time.
What else is kind of sad? I mean, I know
great insight.
The club keeps speaking up the attendance, like, oh, we're doing great on attendance. But if you looked around last weekend, especially the club level, there was a lot of empty seats. And I would say, and I think the Yeti Clan put out a video today that kind of shows it too. So if you haven't followed them on YouTube, you should go check out the Yeti Clan. But they did a vlog, and you could kind of see around like the 70th, 80th minute, it was pretty empty around that club section, man. and it was kind of sad because then you could start to hear Atlanta fans cheering and that sort of thing. And we're down there in the mix, and if you can hear Atlanta or away fans cheering, that's sad in general. But yeah, I want to just say Andre needs to be benched, Jaws needs to be benched, and like people were saying, man, you got to play competitive. Wants the ball at his feet. I mean, he's good with his head, but the crosses ain't working. Like I think I read
teams are daring us to cross at the moment. They're like, we don't think you can. We don't think you can do it. We're gonna let you do it all game long. The stat I saw this week was we currently lead the league in crosses per game at 26 crosses per game. Just to put that into context, New England led the league in that stat last season, and they were at 17 per game. Yeah. So that's a ridiculous amount ahead of where of even the leader from last season. That's too much. Like you can't be that one-dimensional in football. Teams can work that out, and they're going to defend you all game long because they're just going to see it coming. It's not hard.
Were you going to say something, JT?
Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of people creeping out. I mean,
well, what I would say about that again. There are plenty of fans that, this is ready to party. It's party, me representing the more average fan, etc., slash newbie fans. But obviously I know more than other fans now because I'm so blessed to have people like you, Lee, in my life. And of course, Matt, etc. But nonetheless, when I was out there earlier, before the game was completely over, there was plenty of people streaming out, And there's that one guy on the fan reaction that I'll have the mic.
Yeah. Anu came up.
Hit his eye.
Anu came up and, hey, man, I appreciate you stopping by for an interview, Anu, man. It was nice meeting you. I mean, he came up from Atlanta, right? And like he's saying, we were quitting at 60 minutes. Like, I don't care, man. We have to stay till the 90th. The only reason I run out at the 90th minute is just so I can get out there, set up with JT, and be ready to interview people. I would love to stick around and get some autographs and all that kind of stuff, but we run out there to do that, but you don't leave until the final whistle blows, man. I don't care what it is, right? I'm not saying it makes you less of a fan or not, but definitely,
it does. In my book, it definitely does in the sense that a fan is short for fanatic. If you're a fan, even with a lowercase f of Charlotte FC, you shouldn't leave. But if you're there just for the party and having a great time, which is also fun, wonderful, whatever, come have a good time and stuff like that. And you leave early, so big. I'm just saying, noon start in early March, and hey, it was so nice like a week earlier.
I know my lips are still chapped up with sunburn and next day.
We were all, freaking. It was just the atmosphere wasn't right.
JT, we need a not sponsored Wicked Weed promotion real quick.
We're not sponsored by Wicked Weed. And if I had gone to a gas station on the way to Oak Island today that had Wicked Weed, I would have bought it because it's so very tasty. Not sponsored.
Here's a good question for you, JT. As a newbie average fan, are you upset that Charlotte FC is not starting its number 1 draft picks?
I would say to that answer or that question, Terry, is like number 1 draft picks of
Eddie.
What? Oh, sorry. Number 1 draft picks of what? I mean, from the NCAA, from college? It's not
just talking about like the super draft and all that other stuff. Yeah, I guess he's pointing about Diop and those fellas. I mean, I don't think they need to be starting.
Yeah, that's fine. This isn't like the NFL draft or the NBA draft. It's there. Like you get players in from academies, you get players in from other countries. It has its place. The super draft. I'm not concerned that they're not starting yet. Like if Diop's ready, he could be a starter for us. Like in a year or two. Like it's fine.
I mean, I really feel like it. Let's just keep it simple, right? The KISS method, right? I've always been told the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Right, we got more. He had a decent game against the Revs, in my opinion. Right, why is he not at left back? Right, let's just play a simple 4-4-2. Right, I would love for us to shoot more. I don't know why we're so scared to shoot. I don't care if it's outside the box and you kick it as a field goal in the stadium. Right, if we're going to compare it to Charlotte or Carolina Panthers, but just shoot the ball. At one point, it's going to bounce in front of the keeper. He's going to parry it away. That's when Capetti's supposed to be in there to tap it in. I don't care if he becomes a tap-in merchant.
Like, plus, at least if you do that, then the defenders have to go towards the person with the ball a little bit, and then that you keep doing that. That will open up space for other people. Like, but if you're that predictable, we are right now, they're not going to do that. We're predictable.
For me, going back, just a more casual fan, the whole idea of the entertainment value of it. I mean, my God, put something on goal. I mean, nonetheless, get something in there. But the worst part by far, 2 home games. It's one thing if you lose. It's another thing if you draw. But if you don't even score a goal at a home game, when there's that one opportunity, as soon as they score a goal, just to go crazy. That's what people that really are having the most fun when we're there is when they score a goal. And obviously it's great if we come out with a win and 3 points or a draw and 1 point. But my God, to have 2 home games, and 2 goose eggs, it's like it's pent up, We'll frustrate.
It's sad as well because the casual fans that maybe that don't know soccer as well are probably coming in and seeing that, and they'll be like, I'm not going to come back again. And those are people that you can maybe turn into hardcore fans over time, but like at the moment they're coming in and be like, "This is it."
Tell you what, let's touch on this. I see some comments going on, and people kind of like, if Jaws wasn't a DP, I won't be so harsh on him. That's not true. I, at least from my perspective, right? I feel right now he's still in a living, right? He hasn't really produced since he's been here. I mean, I can't say he's better than anybody else. I mean, some of the touches, like you see him, he goes to beat the man and he ends up running out of space. It's like, I don't know. Like, I will give him credit where credit's due. I think in the St. Louis game, he had a pretty good game. But overall, I don't think he's our player. I don't think he's working for us on the left wing. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. But overall, I just don't think. I don't know. I just think we could do better. And unfortunately in the MLS we do put these tags on him, right? He happens to be a DP player. If you're a DP player, I want to see some DP work. I want to see some DP skills. I want to see you beat somebody. I want you to make some shit happen for my team, right? Same with Carroll, same with Enzo, and anybody else that comes in later as a DP. I want to see you earn that DP tag. That's why you're making the bigger bucks than say the Lindsays or the Gaines or those guys. That's just it. So you're going to have more people bitching and complaining about the way you play.
If you're a starting winger for us, you need to be scoring at least 5 or 6 a season, then you need to be assisting at least 9 or 10 a season. At the moment, he's not on pace for anywhere close to that in either metric, even when you account for last season. Like he still hasn't scored for us. I can't remember how many assists he's on, 3 or 4. He does, like you said, Lee. He looks okay in the St. Louis game. He looks like he had something about him there then at least, but he doesn't. At the end of the day, if you're a winger, you've got to be someone that provides goals or score goals. He has not done that in his time for Charlotte. He didn't do that arguably in his time at Derby either.
No, he didn't, and I'm just glad we got him when we did versus when we really went in for him because he was injured and Derby was I think they were having some problems with their cash flow, so we kind of got a deal on him. But to me, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's our player. I don't know what Zorn and Lattanzio have been talking about. I definitely don't want to see. I don't want to see Bronico at left back this weekend. I would rather him be a DM and drop Jones if we need to. And I want to see Nuno start and I want to see Vargas start. They're the only 2 players I can honestly say, other than Capetti's goal, that when they've come in, the team seemed livelier and faster and that sort of thing. We seem to get the ball, wait for the other team to get back into position, and then we decide we want to attack. And then all it is crosses from the wings. I'm tired of the damn crosses.
Play is as simple as, and the KISS point you made, Lee, was great. It's simple. Play our best players in their best positions, which is Capetti up front, Swiderski just behind him, still central, not wide, definitely not wide. Still central, but maybe just off of him, just behind him. Play Nuno Santos, play Vargas, play Bronco where he belongs in defensive midfield, play Westwood in central midfield, and then play the best back four, which is probably Mora, Malanda, Tuiloma at the moment. I'm not convinced on Tuiloma, but we kind of like backed into that right now because of the fact that they're the only two.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's
he's produced a lot in the MLS overall. So I think
Yeah.
and he just came into the club. So to kind of give him some stick, I mean, I feel like he's got to learn the people around him, the players around him, right? And that sort of thing. So I don't
think he's bad by any means. That's why I use the phrase. Yeah. I'm not convinced on him yet, just because he's not been amazing. But I'm not sure I would say that about anyone at the moment the last couple of weeks.
When is Kalina possibly coming back? Do we know that?
I'm not a Kalina fan either, man. But
going back to leadership, I'm going back to locker room. Carujo, Kalina in the back.
Oh, you would
definitely like to see Carujo sooner rather than later.
100%. I would like to see.
It might make a difference. I don't think it's our biggest problem.
No. But I mean, to JT's point, I feel like that. Regardless if they're hurt or not, they're probably in the locker room at halftime or whatever, right? I mean, so the conversations are going to be there. Maybe they're not on the pitch kind of pushing them along, but, off the pitch in practice and that sort of thing, that conversation is going to be there.
No. I want to make this point because this definitely comes up in my brain when I think about it. Conversations, I mean, whatever, they're teammates and all that kind of stuff, and I guess there's interpreters, but my gosh, of all sports – international football, to have all these different languages and stuff. I mean, it has to be, I would think soccer / football is the most mismatched or mixed, whatever, of all sorts of international people all over the place. You got Polish being spoken. You got, Portuguese somewhere in there, obviously Spanish, English, Italian from the coach. I mean, how does that even work? How does that work in the locker room? Just have a casual conversation.
I'm not saying have a casual conversation. I'm talking about its mentality. It's like putting an arm around one of the players, saying like some players need that arm around them. Others need to be cussed the fuck out.
Yeah, but how do you cuss the fuck out someone in Polish?
I swear to God, I bet you could walk in that locker room and go, "What the fuck?" and everybody would understand what you're talking about. Guarantee it.
I also don't think that's not necessarily our biggest problem, just because that's the same for lots of clubs in the MLS, that they've got players from lots of different nationalities. We're maybe a little bit more international than some other ones, but I know we've got the new coach, and I forget his name, that can speak 9 different languages, which is probably useful to have back there. But at the moment, our problem, in my opinion, is simply we aren't playing the best players in their best positions.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's some discussions and some reasons behind it. I just don't understand why at the end of preseason and then after the New England game, we just decided to rip up what we've been doing most of the preseason and just try a whole nother tactic. We're beyond that. It's not our first year, right? I mean,
oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm in the dark, man. I don't know anything about it either.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just frustrating. I'm sorry. I'm just reading some of these comments.
All I know is, and thank you, Lee, because Lee, it's not easy to be a participant on the show and also you're being a producer and a host. And that shit ain't easy, man. I appreciate that.
Fuck no, it's not easy. I mean, to the Kalina and Pablo debate, right? I mean, Kalina towards the end of last season, he wasn't doing that well. I mean, what was it, the Columbus game where he got beaten that free kick almost half at midfield? I mean, in theory, that cost us a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think you can look back at the goals that Pablo conceded, and you can maybe make the argument for, I think, the New England's goal could possibly have been saved by Kalina if Kalina had been in there. But that's a bit of a stretch. Even that, the other goals, I'm not sure any goalie would have saved any of them, to be honest. So I can't really put much of a blame on Pablo. Maybe
he was left wide open against Atlanta. At least the first 2 goals that I can remember. I mean,
I don't know whether
I'd be pissed if I was Pablo. You get a chance with Kalina being out. Aaron go, brah, St. Patty's. You get a chance with Kalina being out. You've been playing really good for the most part, whatever. And then just the defense breaking down like that. And especially, when we
tactics, though.
it just everything, it's like everything is breaking down all between 1 and 11. It's all falling apart.
So I will say this. I mean, I feel this against, and I somewhat agree with this. I mean, I feel like that own goal when we played St. Louis, I felt like the goalkeeper could have called for that and got that, but he was stagnant within the 6-yard box, in my opinion. And
Communication.
What's that?
Communication. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
He doesn't talk like Kalina does.
No. But I also feel like if you kind of watch how, and people commenting on Bronico and his left back position, it's like he's been told to kind of play up more, right? He overlap jaws and make you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I just don't. Hold on a second. This is not an unpopular opinion by any means. I kind of somewhat agree with this too, but not getting off track. I just feel like what these players are being told to do is just not how they play. They're not comfortable doing it because, one, it's not their natural position, and then two, that's just not our style of play. I mean, again, I think we need to stop. There's been stats all over the place about we've made the most crosses in the league so far this season. I don't give a shit. We've got 1 goal out of it. To me, that is the useless stat.
Well, that's the point, though. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we having this great experiment, bad experiment at the beginning of the season? What is going on? Why are we doing this?
Man,
Yeah.
say something, man.
Latanzio is. I'm not quite yet of the opinion of like fire Latanzio, but I'm starting. I'm starting to think about buying tickets for that bandwagon fairly soon. It's not that he's been experimental because he was experimental in St. Louis. It was the fact that he's been experimental and then decided, well, that wasn't that bad. Let's try it again. Even though everybody was like, thought it was a horrible decision the first time. Well, it's making the same mistakes again is where the problem lies for me.
Let's talk about that, though. I mean, against St. Louis, I don't feel like it was a bad shout or a bad lineup, right? Because again, right, well, we had our own goal that I thought that we at some point we had traded off for international spot. We had a handball, right, that was iffy. And then we had that bad pass back by Malanda. So I mean,
but they had lots of chances as well outside of that they didn't
play the high press anyways, right? So
that pass by Malanda was like, what is happening?
Yeah, and I feel this is
whatever.
Ever since the Laddie Daddy shirts came out, man, we gone to shit. What's that?
Jesus Christ!
What'd you say, JT?
I just said he saw Malanda. Whatever, he just lost his mind for a second. He saw the offensive player coming towards him off his left shoulder. He was like, oh shit, I need to pass it back to Cisniega. And as he's kicking it, he looks to the right of Cisniega. He's like, fuck. There's one of their other players who now just takes it and scores it. I mean, that was, oh God. Damn.
It's very frustrating to watch. And I feel like we could play faster too. I feel like we could
100%.
One-touch football, no worse than 2-touch. But we seem to just sit on it, and then we look up, and then we pass it back, and we just wait till our opponent is back in position.
One person on the back line that I do think is worth having a debate about, because A, we're not kind of backed into playing them, and B, we're not playing them out of position, is Nathan Byrne, because he was caught very much out of position for the first goal and has generally looked pretty shaky this season. And he's a right back playing right back, and we have alternatives there. We're at the point now where you can start to look at an Apple playing there. You can start to look at a Lindsay playing there. I think.
Would you start Lindsay over him right now?
Yes, I think it's worth giving Lindsay a shot.
Because I mean, again, going back to substitutions and that sort of thing, right? I mean, if you're not starting, you're probably going to get at least 75, 80 minutes, right? And that's sad. I mean, I want to see somebody came in there. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people agree with you, Brian, right? And I feel like he had a shit game, especially this week. I mean,
that
I hope-
screenshot of the first goal was horrific. Like,
would
what
you
is the right
start?
back doing?
Would you start a full over Lindsay or no?
I think it depends on who you play. I think it depends on the. Apple obviously isn't the fastest player in the world. Lindsay maybe isn't particularly fast either, but I think it depends on who you play and what kind of a winger they're going up against. You play the one that fits the opposition.
Yeah, anytime I've watched Lindsay play, especially on TV, he's always shut down that guy that's been on that wing for him. Like, no crosses come in. He doesn't get beat. He's not the fastest. I mean, he's a good tackler. I don't know. I mean, I would probably put Lindsay in just because he's younger, and I figured a fool's probably on his way out.
Don't forget hometown pride.
Oh, throw a
He's
full
from
enough.
Charlotte. He's from Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I saw the comment from Top Bin accusing me of turning on my countryman. Yes, I've turned on him a little bit. I've still got Westwood though, who's arguably been our best player this season.
I mean,
Hold on.
it's not saying much though.
If they can do this crazy experiment, whatever, that's definitely not working. But then you interject all these different players. Even if you do a 4-4-2, won't it continue to be crazy? And it's
I mean,
like more
in theory,
chaos.
we've only
Are you
picked up
putting more
what?
chaos into it, or do you think you're calming down the chaos by putting a Lindsay in?
Well, it's not so much calming down the chaos and having. Let's put players in the position that their career has got them in the position they're in, right? Let's put a left back and left back, a right back and right back. Let's put a right winger at right wing. I mean, I understand the Carroll playing in the 10 role sort of thing. That kind of, that should work. But again, we just don't have no creativity, and it's like fossil football almost.
Going back to what you said earlier as well, on maybe playing a 4-4-2. I don't know whether anyone here has watched the first Ted Lasso episode of season 3. And don't worry, what I'm about to say is not a spoiler in any way. It's a small scene in the episode. There's really early on in the episode, there's a scene where they're discussing what formation to play this season. And Roy Kent is saying playing 4-4-2 because everyone in that locker room has played in that formation since you're a little kid, and they know inherently on where to be. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've been saying all week. I didn't use as many F-bombs as Roy Kent did maybe, but everyone in the team knows where to, if you're in a 4-4-2, everyone knows where to be at all times. You've got two solid banks of four. Stop being silly with all these crazy formations and people moving up and to the right and cutting in, and everyone's confused right now. Go back to basics. Keep it
basic
simple.
Football can win you games.
Wait. Keep it simple, stupid.
That's what I said.
What you saying earlier.
Man.
Comes back around. Yes,
That's what's
Matt.
up, man. That's where we're
Yes,
here for
Matt.
you guys out there, man. See how we did that? That was all planned out.
Yes, man.
Me, Matt, and JT have been talking this all day. Yeah. Some proper 4-4-2, mate, right? Yeah. And let's do it. But, man, I don't know, man.
4-4-2, mate.
I honestly think we just need to quit trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. So, let's go 4-4-2. I don't care. I mean, just play the players. I don't know. I just don't understand, right? We hear in training, this player's done this player's done that, but I don't know. Some players just don't train as hard. Hey, and if you just joined us, by the way, and you want to enter into the giveaway tonight, it's hashtag not rigged because we never rig anything on this show.
What's the giveaway?
I don't have the picture. I wasn't planning. I didn't plan ahead.
Can you give it a description?
Yes, it's a print by Defender Queen, and it's half. It's the jersey with half the blue and half the royal. So it's pretty legit.
That was a great description, Lee. I appreciate that.
Is that not? Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm being completely serious.
Yes, not rigged. Not rigged because we don't rig anything.
Hey, y'all, definitely not rigged.
Always rigged. I swear to God, the abuse we take from these folks, JT, man, I just don't understand why we get up every day, man. And well, I mean, I guess the kids make us get
I'll
up.
tell you why we get up every day, Lee.
Why is that?
The sun rises in the east. Let's go.
That's right.
Shit.
That's it. So 0-3. The good thing about football is, as always, next week we still got like 30 games left, and Orlando away. Now, we are definitely not a road team, but the good thing is that they're playing tonight in the Champions League. So hopefully, they play all their better players. They're worn out and they just get mentally.
How are they doing right now?
I don't know. Somebody, if you know the score or
It's on the
anything
chat.
about the game, did it kick off? Yeah, I guess it kicked off around 8 or so, right?
I was hoping they'd go to extra time and
Yeah,
time
extra
themselves out a
time,
bit.
triple
Are-
penalties, man, sudden death. I want all the emotions burned out for them.
Are y'all in a not panic state, obviously, because it's so early in the season, but still like it's like holy shit, at least need 1 point coming out of this game against Orlando City? Or just at least see something work.
I need to see progress. And I need to see not the same mistakes.
Yeah, again, exactly, Matt. I think it goes back to what we said earlier in the earlier of last season. It's not so much about how the results go versus the progression that we make as a club, right? And I feel like since preseason that we've gone backwards. It's like we're just starting preseason all over again. Luckily, again, the MLS is like 3 seasons in one, right? So appreciate you, man. So it's like 3 seasons in one, right? So now it's going to be what are we going to do in the summer window? It's going to be the next thing. And at what point does Zorn start getting put on the hot seat?
And at what point do we take whatever long ass break for the new?
That's pretty true. Watch that happen.
Yeah, but how long is the break in the summertime for the new?
The Leagues Cup.
Yeah, the Leagues Cup.
Yeah, I'm just more talking about the
Only
transfer
thing,
window
and they send out
itself, right?
emails.
The way the MLS is going for us right now, the MLS season is going for us right now, I would argue we should just go hell to leather for the Leagues Cup and maybe try and win something. Because if we're not going to make the playoffs in MLS at that point, we'll probably have a pretty good idea by then.
Yeah, I mean,
Might as well try and win something.
Tio, Matt, you've given so many great phrases tonight. Did you say hell's to leather?
Hell to the leather. Like,
Hell to
yeah,
the
just
leather?
going for it.
Yeah, going for. I mean, yeah.
I thought that was an American phrase. Is
Context.
that an English phrase as well?
No, I think you picked that up over Ireland as you was kind of curling up towards
Hell to
Greenland.
leather.
Yeah.
It's hell to leather. Let's give it hell to leather.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, hold on. Let me
go
spin
ahead,
it.
go
real
ahead,
quick.
go ahead.
Hey, y'all. Let's give it hell to leather.
That's it. Yes. I mean, so what would you take? Would you take us having a deep run into this cup, or would you take a playoff spot in the?
I would take a playoff spot, 100%. But
Yeah.
At the point when we get to that competition, we'll know how we're doing in the league, in MLS. We'll know how we're doing in the Open Cup, and we'll be able to make some decisions at that point on who to play. If we're close to playoffs at that point in MLS, I couldn't care about Leagues Cup and play the kids for all I care at that point.
Yeah, that's it. So our next giveaway will be hashtag hell to the leather, just so you guys already know. Yeah. So people are saying
I want to be
English
clear.
version of fuck it, let's go. That's fair. Yeah.
Is it hell to the leather or hell to the leather?
It's hell to the leather, right?
Hell to the leather.
I'm actually questioning myself now whether it's hell to the leather or hell to leather without the V.
Yeah. I mean,
hey Matt, I need to know that.
I want to see Swiderski have play up front on a traditional 4-4-2 with Capetti. I think those guys could really sync up and cause some damage.
Yeah. Do you remember Shearer and Sheringham back in the day, Lee?
Yeah.
Like Swiderski playing in the Sheringham role and Capetti playing in the Shearer
Talking
role.
about when Sheringham
That's how I
played the
see them.
Spurs and how great we were.
Sure. Yeah. we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
he
the
admitted
moment.
to it.
What's that, JT?
He admitted to it. He agreed.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Fulham fan. He really doesn't have much to cheer about either. But Anyways, we won't bring that up because we're all suffering together in this. It's Charlotte FC. This channel is all about Charlotte FC. But yes, I would. Did anybody drop the score in for Orlando right now?
1-0 to whoever they were playing.
Tigres, or however you pronounce it. Tigers. Tigres, right? Yes. Anyways,
Hopefully they're getting kicked up in the air a little bit as well as losing.
are they winning or losing?
Losing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, you would figure that they probably wasn't worried about us this week, and they were trying to get that win. So, yes, 1-0. Appreciate that. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people already on this kick about Latanzio out. I'm not getting on that road. I'm not going down that path yet. I'm going to stop that as much as possible. But I'm telling you, I think, Matt, you said it earlier, it's starting to slowly turn, man. I can slowly feel myself saying what's going on here. But then what do we do? Does Fuchs come in? Do we look for another manager? I mean, what do we do?
Why are you even what? All right, hold on. Why y'all discuss this? I gotta walk away, man. I don't want to hear this shit.
And Orlando
I don't want to hear it.
It doesn't matter, Alex. We never shoot on goal anyways, man. So he's probably just going to be out there drinking his orange juice. So JT really pissed off.
It's gone out to the ocean.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I'm not on fire him today.
No,
at all. But my mind is starting to turn that way, the same as you, Lee. Like,
I mean, I just don't know what else there is. I mean, it's normally the manager that goes, right, when a team's underperforming, and hopefully there's a new bounce.
Especially when they're making weird decisions.
Yeah, and playing people out of position for sure.
Yeah, Zoran's not going to fire himself. He's going to fire Latanzio.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's right. I mean, again, I guess that goes back to the question is, when does Zoran start to feel some of this? Is Zoran calling the shots on who to play and where to play, or is Latanzio actually in charge?
I find it hard to judge Zoran and his decisions, especially the place and time we're in right now, until I've seen our best players playing in their best positions, because he's the one that's ultimately decided to bring those players in. I can't judge Capelli right now. I can't judge Melander right now. I can't judge Westwood right now and the others, because I've not seen our best team. Like, I'm pretty sure that Zoran didn't sign those players with the intention of Brand Brodico playing.
I don't want to be that team, though, that just starts sacking managers just because shit's not going our way either, right? I mean, at some point,
do not.
No, I mean, you can see how that works out. I mean, look at Leeds and everything.
Tio, Latanzio has not even had a full season yet.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda says it, right? He's still cleaning up Mars's mess. I think my problem is I don't think we were really outplayed by New England, to be honest with you. There was right there the last 10 minutes, we looked tired, right? I mean, we tried to clear the ball, and then it came in, and I mean, that ball could have bounced anywhere. And then they happened to score. So, I mean, I don't think we outplayed. So I just don't understand why we went from that formation and those players to what we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Only Latanzio knows what's going on in his head, ultimately.
Yeah, no, I agree with
you.
Yeah,
I was going to say that sums it up, Matt, is like, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got Orlando coming up next week. In Orlando, road game. We're 0-3, and I want to you guys tell us too in the comments what score predictions, Matt.
I'm going to be very slightly positive, and I'm going to say we're going to show some progress and get a 1-1 draw.
1-1, huh? Who scores for us?
Swiderski.
Is he playing on the wing, or is he going to play in the 10?
I'm less confident in that than I'm in my score prediction.
Fair. JT, man, what do you think?
I'm not well, I guess sometimes I'm superstitious. And I'm always a homer, so I always predict that we're going to win or at the worst draw. So, just to flip the script and see how it works, I'm going to predict that Orlando wins 2-1.
Orlando wins 2-1, huh?
In
Who scores
hope.
that goal?
In hopes
Yeah,
that
I mean,
my
that's true.
predictions flip it the other way for us.
If we win though, JT, you're going to have to predict us to lose every week then after that point.
All these 5 news.
I will ride that
I've been
wave
drinking on
as
the
much
Wednesday.
as
It's terrible. So I think just because it's a road game, wow, JT, you're not a real fan, says Top Ben. Once of show.
Who was that? Who said
Top
that?
Ben. Top Ben says you're not a real
Who is
fan.
that? I don't even know what a top Ben is.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Baker, man? What's going on? So I think we're gonna lose 1-0 just simply because it's a road game and we haven't had much luck on the road, and I always pick us to win. So I'm trying to manifest the complete opposite by saying that we're gonna lose.
Lee.
Yes.
Reverse curse.
Yeah, reverse psychology. Whatever it is, man. Whatever it is, I just want to see us win, man. Yeah, man. You're not a real fan. Top
It's
Ben.
a real sad state of affairs, by the way, when the person that predicted a 1-1 tie is the one that's the most positive in the score predictions of the three of us.
Yeah. I mean, oh yes, I do. Oh yeah, I apologize to Adam this weekend. I totally forgot it, but I will bring it to the next tailgate. I promise you that. And oh man, see, you guys are you don't understand. Me and JT text all night crying about the way you guys call us names on here, man. I just can't consider be a plastic fan.
Well,
I'm just gonna take it.
Let's just be clear. He cries, and I listen to his cries.
Yes, that's how it goes.
And I comfort him with talking about other sports besides.
It's FaceTime until one of our batteries die. It's a sad life we live, JT.
Hey, listen. Hey,
Yeah.
listen. If that's the truth, and this is a sad life, I'll take it all day, every day. Thank
Yes.
you all so much. Hit the subscribe button because honestly, this is so much fun we're still having.
Yeah.
Although what's going on at the beginning of the season is bullshit.
Yeah, and
This is a group therapy session, basically, at this
it
point.
really is. I mean, I feel better now. I went on a rampage earlier.
Matt, give
Yes.
it to me on the yes.
Yes.
Matt, yeah,
It's much cheaper than regular therapy, though.
We're looking at getting some sort of merch. We just haven't figured out what we want to do yet. We have brilliant ideas, but slow to put them in motion.
Exclusive. We're looking for a pop-up store in a very exclusive
Yes,
place.
I got you a hat, Brian. Yes. So, anyways,
Yeah, we got
and
you,
no,
Brian.
Mbappe gets announced in the summer, is what I said. I think so. But yeah. So again, hashtag not rigged. If you want to enter in today's drawing, I'll give you 2 minutes to put that in there. And you know what I really want? Yes, Fan TV scarves. We've talked about that too. Yes,
Hey,
there's a lot going on in the background that we're working on.
Listen, Tia, though. If it's going to be Fan TV scarves, they're going to be the lightest, like made of linen summertime scarf because most of the season is hotter than hell. And I'm not wearing this. That's right. And there's some other stuff. We might get some shit made out of silk, man. Might have some worms.
I'm gonna have to start a drop shipping business just so I can.
Hey, I'm talking some exclusive shit.
All right, you heard it. We keep saying it, but we never put it in motion. This is how far we go.
Since we're talking scarves, can I take a minute and plug the Anton Walk scarf that I've got on?
Go for it. Go for
Just because, so a bunch of people probably saw it at the game on Saturday. People holding them up when the tifo went up. See it kind of here. Oops, upside down.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Get closer to the camera, I think.
Just
Yeah. No, it's.
You can't really see it, but anyway, it's $25. Every penny goes to the Anton Walks fundraiser that the team put out. We've sold over 600 of them, I believe, already so far, and that's gone to Atlanta fans, Charlotte fans. There's no like logos on the scarves at all. It's completely for Anton. So trying to raise some money to help his family out in what I know is a tough time for them. If anybody hasn't seen them and hasn't got them yet, appreciate it. And it's available at mincitycollective.com.
All right.
Say that. Hold on. Say that slower, Matt. Where they can get them? I know you said
mincitycollective.com. Click on merch and scroll down, and you'll see the scarf on there.
Sweet, and that's all $25 goes to Anton Walks.
I don't think it's quite all $25 because otherwise we'd be
whatever.
from the cost of the scarf.
Yeah.
But all the profit goes to it, but there's there's no money that Mint City Collective is making off.
That's what I meant. That's what.
And we're actually, where is Roscoe? For the people that have been asking, we heard from Jimmy's wife that he's in jail for some meth or something. We're gonna go next tailgate. We're gonna pass a hat around.
No.
You have no idea who Roscoe is, man.
No, I will not let you disparage Roscoe's name just because he's a good old boy, NASCAR fan from South Carolina. Okay. You're going to sit here and say, oh, no, he's in jail for meth.
Why not?
What the fuck is that?
That's what Jimmy's wife said. That's what Jimmy's wife said.
Take that. Whoever said that shit, take it, sell it down the river. That's some bullshit.
All right. Apparently, JT might know who Roscoe is. I do not. So, Jimmy's wife, everybody free Roscoe. And
free Roscoe.
Yep. So, all right. So, hashtag not rigged if you want to enter in tonight's giveaway. So,
it wasn't meth.
Wasn't meth. All right. So, here we go. That's meth.
Let's go.
Free Roscoe. Yeah. Soap bars. That's a bit. Yeah. All right. All getting crazy now. So, let's see who wins. Not rigged.
Never.
Never rigged. Yeti Clan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those
Can we
guys win
split it?
everything.
What's that?
Those guys win everything.
They do.
Yeah. The ultimate irony.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, don't mess with the Yetis though, man. They come out the woods, get your ass, snatch you. You won't see it.
Yep. So yes, it's rigged. It is actually rigged. Yeti Clan has actually said they would buy me a beer if they saw me this weekend. So if they could win, that would be 2 beers. So apparently Yeti Clan's buying me 2 beers. So anyways, with that being said, go ahead.
Can I get 1 beer?
Can you get a beer? Are you gonna be there Saturday?
Well, I'm just no, I won't be. But if I can just get a Yeti Clan beer at some point, it'd be great.
That's not a Yeti Clan beer. It's a Modelo.
Well, they're gonna buy you 2 beers if I can just get some of that action because I kind of work on this as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to be out there Saturday, I'll buy you a beer next time I see you, JT.
Lee, I can't help it. It's March Madness. I'm on vacation. Damn, man.
Yeah.
Yeti busting balls.
Luca paid for Yeti to win. Yeah, we do appreciate that, Luca, man, for Lucha. I always screw it up. I apologize. I wish just everybody's name was like Joe or Steve or Smith or Jones. Or...
I do not, Flantorio.
That's it. All right. So if you haven't already, hit the like button for us, and if you're new to the show, hit the sub button. We appreciate it, Matt. If people wanted to follow you or your group, man, how can they find you?
At Matt Chantry, I think on Twitter. Follow me on there if you're crazy enough to listen to my inane ramblings.
Yep. And JT, how can people find us?
Number 1, Matt, they were not inane at all. And heels to leather, whatever the hell you said earlier, that was fucking gold.
Heels to the leather is a different thing entirely. That's definitely something you'd find at Leather and Lace.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. Do we go with hashtag leather and lace? I'm gonna have to put a Twitter poll out there. See if we go with leather and lace.
You need to get them to sponsor you if you're going to do that, Lee.
Leather and lace.
From Leather and
I
Lace.
actually might have some hookups.
Was it rubber to leather? What was the
my future ex-wife is going to be.
Oh, all right. Now we got to wrap it up, everybody. Anyway, we're still
my future ex-wife.
Fan TV.
Yes.
For the fans, by the fans.
Damn it. See y'all, man. See y'all this weekend, and hopefully Charlotte pulls off a win, man. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. Love y'all, and later.